Hi guys, I hope you're well. In this recording, I'd like to introduce you to the field of sociology and what it is we study as a sociologist. So when we look at sociology, to sum up what we study as sociologists, I wanted to have you guys look at this quote by one of the famous philosophers, which is Socrates, which says that unexamined life is not worth living. So that is exactly what we do as sociologists. So it is a quote that perfectly sums up the field of sociology because we are interested in examining life situations, different social interactions, and so on. So these are the things that we are interested in sociologists. We, as sociologists, rather, we study life, we study social interactions, and so on. So this is why I say that this quote by Socrates perfectly sums up what sociology is about. So when I talk about sociology, I want to give you guys just a brief background of what sociology is. Sociology is the name that is derived from two words, socius, which is Latin, which means companion, and logos, which is Greek, which means speech or reason. So combining them together, it's reasoned speech about companionship. So when we simply put sociology today, when we simply define what sociology is, we define sociology as being the scientific study of society and social interactions. So we're going to be looking at different societies and different social interactions. An example of that would be in my culture, for example, they say that it is considered respectful for us not to talk to our elders and looking them directly in the eye. But I know that in some cultures, it is considered as disrespectful not to look at the elder in the eye when you are talking to them. So that obviously shows that there might be conflict between the two cultures if they were to come together, because the one holds this one belief and the other has a belief that is completely different to the other. So these are the reasons why we are interested in life and in different social interactions as sociologists, because we want to understand how different beliefs come together and how conflict might come up because of the different beliefs that come together. And you also, this is it could be of interest to you as well, because you live in a certain society, you exist in a certain society, so there might be different things that you notice as well that happen in the different cultures, different religions, and so on. So these are of course going to be things that we're going to discuss as we move further in this module. So sociology is considered a science because a sociology involves scientific study obtained by specific methodologies, right? So as sociologists, we are expected to abide by the rules of scientific studies. So one of those being sociological arguments must be logical. So we do not rely on myths, for example. We do not rely on things that are not scientifically proven, for example. And when I say scientifically proven, we can look at observation as being one of the scientific methodologies as well. So as sociologists, we rely mostly on observations because, as I said, we are studying societies. We are studying sociological, or rather social interactions. So as a result, observations are one of the methods that we use as sociologists to reach conclusions. So sociological arguments must be logical. Sociological knowledge must provide explanations of social reality. Sociology must strive for objectivity, so we cannot find ourselves thinking about or involving our feelings when we think about certain arguments. We cannot involve ourselves within an argument and our own belief systems and so on. So we must always strive for objectivity and sociology resists jumping to moral judgments as well. And sociological knowledge is not final. It's not final in the sense that society is ever evolving. So as a result, there's always going to be new information that comes in that we are always open to listening to, and we always welcome, because we are studying society. So we know that each and every single day there's always something that happens within society that could change our understanding of society. So that is why we say sociological knowledge is not final, and scientific knowledge is theoretical. So we're going to be in all the things, or all the topics that we're going to be covering, you will see that there's going to be theoretical knowledge that we rely on because of the different studies that they have conducted to reach their conclusions. So the likes of your Augusta Comte, the likes of your Emil Durkheim, which you will hear a lot of, the likes of your Karl Marx, which you will hear a lot of, as well as your Max Weber, which you will hear a lot of. You need to listen and understand to these different theories and what their beliefs are, so that you could also be able to apply those into the real world. So it's important for you, when I say the real world, it's important for you to also just be updated, or be up to date with the different current affairs that are happening, especially if you live in South Africa. There's so many things that politically as well that are happening. There was just a reshuffle not so long ago of the cabinet. So those are of interest to sociologists as well, because everything, as I said, changes society, and changes the way we understand society as well. So when you're going to be thinking about or looking at the origins of sociologists, these are great thinkers of the past, and you will see that sociology is derived from philosophy. So most of the knowledge that sociology has now, and most of the questions that we have as sociologists, these were from philosophers and their prior interest in the questions of society, or about society rather. So the likes of your Socrates, your Plato, and your Aristotle also are the major contributors in sociology. So the questions that they were interested in then are what we are interested in now as sociologists. So one of the questions being, why do people behave the way that they do? These are the things that you will find as trying to answer, and you'll find the different theories as well trying to answer the questions of why people behave the way that they do. Your Karl Marx would believe it's because of the different classes that exist in society, and the likes of your Durkheim would argue differently. So there is many theories that come in that will offer us different explanations as to why people behave the way they do. So that is one of the questions that we are interested in as sociologists. And we've got different people or different theorists who contributed to our social perspectives, or our way of thinking, and our different studies as sociologists. So if you look at Immanuel Kant, for example, you'll see that the contribution that he made was interpretive perspective, which you will see a lot of when you're looking at Max Weber, who is a sociologist, and then the likes of your Plato, your Socrates, your Aristotle, and so on. These are the different social thinkers, and these are the different social perspectives that they brought on that shaped the Western thought. So with that being said, they then birthed what sociology is by influencing the likes of our different theorists, our different founding fathers of sociology, such as your Augusta Comte, your Herbert Spencer, Emil Durkheim, Karl Marx, Max Weber, George Seymour, and so on. So it's quite interesting to see that these are the the contributions that they made. Whether they were aware of it or not, I'm not really sure, but these are the contributions because of the way they influence the different theorists that we have today. So now that we have seen the huge philosophical historical background that has informed sociology as a body of knowledge, we are going to then look at the detail of the main contributors to this science, which I said, Augusto Comte, Herbert Spencer, Emil Durkheim, and the likes, right? So when we're going to be talking in the next, or when we have our next recording, we are going to be covering the likes of your Augusto Comte, your Emil Durkheim, Karl Marx, Max Weber as the founding fathers of sociology. So that is where I'm going to end this recording today. In our next recording, I am going to be touching on the sociological imagination by C. Wright Mills, which is the way that we as sociologists conduct our studies. We apply the sociological imagination. So if you want to know more about sociological imagination, stay tuned for the next recording. That's it from me. Bye, guys.